API keys to give
Sorry, API key?
for the config file.
Yeah.
What are the API keys that can be provided? Because I was checking manually each and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So some websites are now like they are not functioning also.
Okay.
I mean the free websites. So what's your suggestion like? Because I can see like lot of sites are there mentioned by Shodan.
Okay. So if you view the config file, so here you open one of these. So here we have the information status, like whether it is a free or paid one. So you can register those services. We can go into the each service. For example, you can go into asnlookup.com, or else you can go into Alien Vault and you can sign up for an account. Then you can grab the API key. Okay, so I think most of these API keys are free. So most of these services are free. So you can only sign up on these free services and you can get the API keys.
Like, do we have to register on each and every
Yes,
site and
yes,
provide
yes.
it for
Yeah.
at least
So
10 to 15, like the
yeah.
important ones?
Yeah, so we need to register on each and every services. For example, if you are accessing Shodan API, then you need to go to shodan.io, then you need to create an account, then you need to register. So if you go, once you register, you can log into your account, you can go to settings, there you can get the API key. So like that, you need to register on each and every services, then you can use those API keys. You can only access those services using this API key. So otherwise, if you're not providing API keys, we cannot access that service. That's why we're creating the API key and we're authenticating ourselves. Yeah. Okay. So if you guys can see in my right side screen, we have ran this Amass enum, and it is finding these subdomains. So in the first column, we got the source. So it is saying where it got this data. So we got DNS technique, and it got the subdomains from alien bot and all of these sources. And here this alien vault and reverse DNS API keys are free. So that's why we want to provide. Okay, so if you provide the API keys, then it will use those sources also. And in the second column, so here we got the subdomains and we got the IP addresses. Okay, so we are getting all this information. Okay, so let me cancel it. Okay, for this demo. And if you come down here, you can see we got 63 names discovered. So 49 from DNS technique and 14 from API technique, API sources. And we got the ASN number and all of this. Okay, so this is how we can do the subdomain implementation using this Amass enum. Okay, so we can continue this session. And next thing is Amass Biz. Okay, so if you go to Amass help menu, we got third one Amass Biz. So using this Biz module, we can visualize our target. Okay, so whatever data we got enumerated, right? So we can visualize those data. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. Okay. So let's go to, I think, AD Bank. Okay, so I have done the enumeration previously on separate folder, so TD Bank. So I'm gonna use that um, folder directory. Okay, so I will type Amass and Biz. So if you take a look at this help menu, we got the domain names. We can use the domain name and we can use this D3 option. So what it will do, it will generate the graph. Okay, so HTML graph. We can generate this graph and we can take a look at the graph. Okay, so let's do that. So we can type Amass Biz and we need the D3 graph, right? So before that, we can we need to specify the directory. So previously we have done the Amass enum, right? So using enum module, and we have stored this data using the dir flag. So we have mentioned the dir name. Okay, right? So we need to specify that we need to reference that directory. Okay, so here I'm using different directory because I done full enumeration before, so on different directory. That's why I'm using this different directory. Okay, so here we can specify the directory. So directory name is DD bank, and we can say we need uh, graph, right? So D3 flag. So we can specify the D3 flag, and we can let it run. Okay, so it's ran, and if you go into the folder directory, if you cd into TD bank, if you ls, here you can see we got another file called amass.html. So this is the file we have just generated. So we can open this file. So let me open this file using my browser. Okay, I will open this folder. Then I will open it with Firefox. Okay, so let me open with Firefox. Okay, so it is opening. So here you can see we got this visualization graph. So it is huge, right? So this is the graph. We can um, um, resize this graph. We can take a look at the different sections. So I think it is getting bigger. Okay, so since we have a lot of data here, that's why um, we are getting this much graph. Okay, so if your target is small, and if you are getting only small amount of subdomains, then you can see small graphs, and you can take a look at this information. Okay, so it will it's a simple visualization. Okay, so by taking a look at this visualization session, you can see you can map the target, right? So you can visually see how this target is found. Okay, so if you hover over on any of the node, so it will show how this got. Okay, so it will show the data sources and it will show the IP address also. So here we are seeing these. When we do this Amass enum, we have seen the IP addresses and also sources, right? So those information we can see here also. So, but representation is a graph, right? So visual graph. So if you hover over on this, you can see this is the domain name. So it's moving. So here, and also we have the IP addresses. So, and it will show the sources also. So where it got this information. So we can see those information visually. So this is all about this module. Okay, so let's open another. Let's go to another module. So here we have the track. Okay, so we can track the difference between the enumeration. For example, suppose we are doing subdomain enumeration today on tdbank.com. So maybe another 2 days, after 2 days, we are doing same enumeration on td.com. So when we do this enumeration within the maybe constantly. So if we are doing kind of this enumeration after 2 days or after 1 day, right? So if you want to see the difference between the last 2 scan, then we can use the track. Not only last 2 scan, if we want to see the difference between all the scan, we can see all of those. So using this track, we can do that. For example, here I'm using this AMS track, and let's see the help menu. So here we are using this D flag. Using D flag, you can provide the domain name, and using this directory flag, DAF flag, you can provide the directory name. So where your information is there, right? And if you want to see only the last 2, if you want to compare the data between last 2 scan, then you can use this last option, and you can say I want to see only the differences between last scan. Okay, so let's do this on this directory. So we got enumerated the we got do this did this subdomain enumeration. We have saved the result in the TD bank, right? So I will go there and I will do MS track and return. I will provide the TD bank. Okay, so let's open. Okay, so here we need to provide the root domain. We can provide td.com. Okay, so here I'm providing only the td.com, and using this last option, you can provide currently it will show all the differences from all the scan on this td.com. And if you want to see only the last two scan differences, then you can use the last flag and you can specify 2 or 3 or 4. Okay, so it will only take these two scans. Maybe what we can do, we can take tdbank.com and we can specify last two. Okay, so it will show only differences between last two scans. Let's see if we're getting any data. Okay, so maybe if you take a look at this picture, here we got these details. So it is showing the date. So between this and between this, it is showing the differences. Okay, so here you can see it's saying found and this is the domain name. Okay, so like that we can visualize the difference between two scans. Using track we can do that. So I scanned this domain on today's only, so that's why maybe since it is a big scan enumeration data, right? We got a lot of data, right? Maybe it may take some times to load this data. So right, so here we got the result. So if we go up, here you can see, so it is showing the difference from this two scan, and here we got the data. So here it's saying found on the mode, right? So all of this information, we are comparing this information from previous scans. Okay, so yeah, so this is how we can use this track model. And the last one, we have the DB. Okay, so let's talk about this DB. So let's type Amass. So here it will show the graph DBs, right? So let's see the options here. So if you go up here also we have the D option to provide the domain name, and we can specify the directory wherever the Amass enumeration data is stored. Okay, so yeah, and we can use this list option to list the domains, and we can do a lot of other things also. So for now, let's use the show. Okay, so maybe let's use Amass DB, and let's use the directory. So TD bank. So this is where our enumeration data is there, and let's use list. So let's see what we are getting from the list. Okay, so we are getting this scan information from the list. Okay, so it's a raw data seems. Okay, so we are getting this whatever we done before, right? It is listing. Okay, so now what we can do, we need to show the scan all scan data. So here, if you specify the show option, and if you go up, you're getting the data scan details. So for example, here it is showing it will show all the information. Okay, so for example, in this directory I have done tdbank.com enumeration and also dd.com enumeration. That's why here we are seeing dd.com and ddbank.com and all of this information. Okay, so if you want to see specific domain names, okay, then we can use the div flag and we can say dd.com. Now, if you want to show the information from specific domain, we can do something like this, and we can take a look at this scan. So we can go up and we can see the information, and like that we can do that. Also, if you want to get data for ttbank.com, and you can do that also. Okay, so it will show the domain's name and all the information. Okay, so here we are getting all these domain names. So if you come down here, it is showing this extra information also. Suppose you don't want this extra information, this ASN details, then what we can do, we can specify only, we can remove this show flag, and we can specify the names flag. Okay, it will just show the name, nothing else. If you run it, so here you can see we're just getting the subdomains from the last scan. from the scan, right? So we're only getting these subdomains. So what we can do, we can pass this subdomain to another tools, or we can save this information into another file. So this is how we can use the DB. Okay, so we can get the information DB, and we can maybe we can process this information. If you want to process it on the tool, so something like that we can do. Yeah, so we have covered all of Amass information, um, major used subcommands and all those informations, flags also. Yeah, so that's all from me. So if you guys have any doubt, you can ask. Okay, and one more thing, this session is I think it's not pre-scheduled actually. So I have decided this to take this session before 2 hours, right? I think 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So I have prepared the PPT after 6 or 7, and I have took this session. Okay, so maybe I have missed some information. Maybe something went wrong, right? So if anything went wrong, I apologize for that, because this is not pre-scheduled. That's why. So if you guys have any question, you can unmute yourself, or else you can post your question on comments, chat box. Maybe I will look into it, and I will try to clear your doubts. Yeah.
Hi, bro. So, like, usually, are we allowed to run automated tools in bug bounty programs, or do we have to change any settings so that it's not that much noisy?
Okay, so it's all based on the target. Okay, so we need to read the policy. Okay, so if they mentioned like we are not allowing any automated tools, then we should not use any automation tools. Okay, so because the automation tool will be sending a lot of traffic to the server, the server will maybe cannot process all of this sudden traffic, right? So that's why they are saying no automation tools. Okay, so if they used no automation tool, we should not use automation tool. We should try to do the manual technique. And if they specified like we have to send only 60 seconds per minute, right? So something like that, 60 requests per minute, then what we can do, most of the tools having the options to control that. Okay, for example, I think using threads. So by default, maybe tools will use 20 threads or 30 threads. So there we can mention like use one thread, and we can mention the seconds also. Okay, so for example, we can say per second you send only 10 requests or 30 requests or 50 requests. So like that, we can specify that information. So the tool will only send 30 requests per second, or 300 requests per minute, something like that. So we can specify those information. So the tool, as per the tools, we can use the threads and the delay between request options. So it will depends on the tool. Okay, so it will vary, but we need to. That's why we need to read the policy, and based on that, we can use the tool. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so Black Monk, thanks for this session. So he mentioned he provided a link. Let's take a look at these links also. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Uh, so I think we got a lot of articles here. Maybe you can reference and look for Amos. Okay, so we are not getting Amos right up from this one. So Abhishek provided the link. Thank you. Copy paste. Yeah. So yeah, heck look, we have got the blog post of this heck look. Yeah. So yes, we can use this article also. So here we also mentioned like how to configure API keys and all of this information and how to use the Amass. So we can use this articles also. So thanks for pointing out this one. So let us look at these references. Great. Okay. So today we have done on this TD bank, right? So um, I think this is the one. Maybe directory. Okay, so this is, as I said before, this is a large scope target. Okay, so we just use the AMS to perform this enumeration, right? So for in large scope enumeration, we have a lot of other target, other techniques also. So like certificate, names graphing, and you can say acquisition enumeration, and all of those. So we need to use all of these technique, and from that technique we need to get these domains, and then we can pick single domain and we can do the enumeration. Okay, so yeah, so we can do a lot of um, cool things on this domain, on this target. So I think it's okay. So they have launched on Feb 2023. Okay, so great. So that's all from me. So if you guys have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, I can wind up this call. So it will be you guys can just mention in the chat so that I can wind up this call.
Hello, hello, Exploit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I had a doubt regarding the JS files.
Okay.
So, like, I ran sub.js on a domain
Mhm.
to get the endpoints and all.
Okay.
So, I was getting like 7 lakh
Mhm.
subdomains.
Mhm.
So, then I stopped the tool manually.
Okay.
And then I ran on Hacklook's tool. I
Okay.
think that name was hackcheck
Mhm.
URL,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I didn't find even one subdomain alive. Then I ran HTTP probe, then I found some 171.
Okay.
So, which is the best tool to find the alive domains for JS files?
Okay, so what we can do, we can use the crawlers, like as you mentioned, we can use the hacklook crawler, or else we can use the Wayback Machine. So we can use the Wayback
Mhm.
URL tool, and we can collect the URLs from different sources like Sub.js, Wayback URLs, and the hacklook crawler,
Yeah, yeah. From
and
Grav,
also
Wayback, and Sub.js, I
yeah,
had gathered and put it to one text file.
yeah, one text
Then
file.
I
So
wanted
from
to
there.
check the alive domains.
Yeah, so from there, what you can do, you can pass that URL to HTTPX. Okay, so using this HTTPX,
Mhm.
we can check which URL is alive and which URL is not alive. For example, um, so what you can do, you can use this HTTPX. So and you can pass the URL. So and if you want to check which um, so, and if you want to check which JS URL is alive, then what we can do? So maybe we can use the Wayback URLs, and using that we can get the URLs from this Wayback td.com, and we can grab the only JS URLs, something like this. We can grab the URLs. So let's see how many URLs we are getting from this td.com. Okay, so we are getting a lot of JS URLs. So then we can pass this to HTTPX. So like this, we can pass this to HTTPX, and we can specify we need status code and content length. So we need only this status code and the content length. That's all. And we can run this tool again. Okay, so we'll let it run. So what it will do, it will check whether the URL is alive or not, and it will show the status code also and the content length. By taking a look at the status code, we can confirm if the URL is alive or not. So if the URL status code is 200, we can say it is alive. If it is 404 and other status code, we can say it is dead URL. Yeah, and also we can take a look at the content length. Okay, so by looking at the content length, if the JS file is small, then the content length will be smaller, right? So if the JS file is
Yeah.
bigger, the content length will be bigger. So we can pick only the smaller JS files, and we can manually look through the codes. Okay, because the bigger file will have lot of codings, right? So we will not be having times to look into each and every lines. So and also once you collected the JS files, maybe we can use duplicate to download this file. Okay, so we can download all of these files to local, and we can use the grep to grep for sensitive information, endpoints, and all of those.
Okay. So can we use a truffle log for that, or we have to run API template?
You can use the truffle hack also. So no tool is perfect, right? So these tools are working based on the we can say regex and right. So no tools is perfect. We should use few tools. Maybe you can try one or two tools, and you can check the outputs. You can compare the outputs. If you're getting best result from truffle call, you can use that. Or else if you're getting best result from some other tool, you can use that. So based on your comfort, you can pick the tool and you can use that.
What if its JS code is fully obfuscated? Like that one, will the tool find it out, or?
Okay, so for that we can use a tool called JS Beautify. I think it's a CLI. We have CLI tools also. I think JS Beautify NPM. You can go to check. So what this tool will do, it will beautify the file. Okay, so here okay, we can install this tool simply, and here you can see. Okay, so here we are running this tool, and we are specifying the target. So once you run something like this, so it will beautify the file, and you can see the beautified file. That's we can use this CLI tool, and also we have the UI. So if you want online tool, so we can use this beautifier, and we can manually copy this the obfuscated code into this editor, and you can beautify the code. So if you want to automate, if you want to do beautify all of these files using the CLI, this is the best tool. You can use this JS Beautify.
Yeah, because each and every file we can't check manually by beautifying, right?
Yeah,
lot of time it will take.
Yeah, so we can beautify this file. We can use the JS Beautify, and we can beautify the file, and after that we can use the grep to grep for the specific sensitive information. So if you need credential or AWS3 bucket or endpoints, we can grep using we can grep for this information, and we can look if anything juicy. Yeah. So here you can see we got the information here. So we go up. So here we got the status code, and also we got the content length. Okay, so
yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, so based on this information, we can pick one JS file, and we can do the evaluation. We can look for the sensitive information, right? Yeah. Right. Okay,
and if it's 403, you can try for like bypass also on those things, right?
Yeah, you can try, but still it is just a JS file, right? So even if we do the bypassing, right? So you may not have sensitive information, right? So it is worth to try. We can try for we can try to bypass that, and we can see if there is any hard-coded API or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So thanks for thank you so much, guys. So thanks for joining, and let's meet in another session. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Valvers. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah.
Thank you, bro.